Hey, buds. Thank you for tuning into today's episode when you can literally be doing anything else.
If you guys are somehow liking the content that we're putting out for you guys weekly, please feel free to leave a like or a rating on Spotify or Apple Podcast.
And if you want to watch us, you can find us on YouTube at the Fantasy Buds Podcast. You can leave a like or comment, and you can subscribe to us.
And if you even for some reason decide you want to follow us on Instagram, we are at Fantasy Buds Podcast to keep up with all of our daily advice and shenanigans.
Thanks for listening, and hope you enjoy the show. We're fine. We're okay. It's like the Titanic.
That's why I keep laughing. I just look and it's just slowly.
It's because I just have it up here in this. I mean, it doesn't see like it doesn't go.
Producer Chris,
like,
we need you.
Chris
Yeah,
is
we-
like,
Oh.
I need to come fix it.
I don't know what happened.
It's just not tight enough.
We're gonna go with that.
Welcome back, buds, to the Fantasy Buds Podcast. It's your host, Brian, Mark, and Tim. How are you gentlemen doing today?
We're back on another cold, gray,
Yep.
and rainy Wednesday.
About to be
Or
dark in like
Tuesday.
an hour.
About to be dark by 4 o'clock in beautiful South Jersey.
Beautiful South Jersey. It just gets depressing, more depressing each year.
As the winter goes on.
As the winter
and
goes
on.
on.
It's painful.
It
Along with
hurts.
fantasy football, there's a lot of depression out there. I know to our fellow host here, he had a rough one last night. His season ended
Yep.
right in front of his face.
Is what it is.
What are your feelings on that?
Had to sacrifice one league for another.
That's the one way to look at it. I like
The fuck was that?
nobody move. What did you drop?
Was that
Your
you,
s-
Chris? Or
was
was
it-
that the...
Was that your soul?
I thought that was like the ghost or something. I didn't see anybody move.
The ghost of Christmas, ghost of the past. Anyway, why don't we talk about our playoff implications for all the leagues that we're in together?
What do we want to start with? Because one of mine is really painful and one of mine is really good.
Let's talk about the pain first.
Oh, all right. Who wants to go first for TJ?
Well, I'm not in playoffs,
Oh,
so
True. Tim was just mathematically eliminated. It's a shame because I think Tim has a good team.
give him a second.
Oh, yeah.
Get this
No,
figured
go
out.
on. I'll figure this out.
Okay, you twist it one way to raise it. There you go.
I know Chris is sitting there like I just want to go fix it. He can't. He doesn't want to get in the shot.
All right, we're good.
I think it's good. Okay. You guys were saying?
So Tim was mathematically eliminated. It's a shame because I think Tim's team is actually pretty fucking good.
It's one of those things
And
where I did to
TJ.
myself, second guessing who to start. If I didn't second guess against Tiny, if I just started George Pickens like I wanted to, I would have been fine. But it happens.
To be honest, I can't nobody's mad at you for not starting George Pickens though in a game. Like I don't think you could really kill yourself over that.
Oh well, the main catalyst was Cortland Sutton. That's
Yeah,
what
he
killed
was
me.
very disappointing for you. If I were you, I would not have traded Jalen Hurts away. I would have hung on to him because, to be honest, Stevenson has been killing it for you, but Cortland Sutton's been kind of awful. To tell
yeah,
you
but
the
I did
truth.
get Garrett
Like,
Wilson out of that trade too.
Garrett
so-
Wilson has been really
No,
good
no, that was a different trade.
recently,
It was two
that was Tua
trades.
trade. Yeah, that was the Tua trade.
which you only had to make because you already had got rid of Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, but I had too many
So-
holes in my team anyway.
but
My team was literally Jalen Hurts, Justin Jefferson, and Jonathan Taylor.
the Jonathan Taylor trade was a good trade for you.
Yeah.
I think that really worked out for you. DeAndre Hopkins was a really good draft pick for you, too. I kind of wanted nothing to do with him, mainly because of the suspension, to be honest, but you held on to him all year. You didn't trade him. You got a lot of shit for holding on to him like you did, but he paid off
He
for
did
you.
pay off.
And it's actually kind of like I kind of feel bad that my pile of trash is going to make the playoffs
It
over
Happens.
your team because you actually
Just
have a good
how
team.
the cookie crumbles.
Even though Hopkins worked out, see, like the reason why I wasn't taking him is because you didn't have somebody to help you like the first 6 weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, who knows? Maybe it's somebody else. Maybe I don't know, Travis Etienne. I don't know, somebody else. Maybe you get a winner, an extra win or two in that stretch. But
Well, that's the reason why I took him at that pick was because I had Mike Evans and I had Justin Jefferson. I was like,
Yeah.
all right, that'll last me 6 weeks. I'll be fine. And then I traded away Mike Evans to get Jonathan Taylor once, Javonte Williams died. But yeah.
Well, it's always hindsight. You can always say, like, oh, if I started this guy or that
Yeah,
guy.
exactly.
The way I like to look at it is I don't want to be like, oh, if I started these guys, I would have won. You have to be perfect every week, pretty much.
It wasn't my year. I mean, 3 of my losses were literally from guys dropping 200 points on me, so I can't do anything about that. Like,
Then now, I don't
It
think
is
my
what it
team has
is.
scored 200 points combined in the past.
Yeah, you've been on a
And if the
downward
funny thing
spiral.
was-
I've never
both-
seen anything like
the
it.
funny thing was, both those weeks, I would have won. All 3 times 200 points was dropped on me. If, like, a normal amount of points was dropped on me, I would have won, because I broke, like, 140,
You
150,
did
and then
score a
150
lot,
the next
yeah.
time. But
when
it's
I played
just-
you had like 150.
Yeah, it is
I'm
what it
pretty
is.
sure.
It happens. I mean, I'm out in this league, but I made it in my big money league. Actually, that comes down to this week because that was pretty much just a carry job by Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen in that league right now. That
mean,
team
those-
got hit by injuries.
Those are two pretty
So-
good guys to have to carry you, though.
But, I mean, I'm out of this league, but I'm in free agency, so it's fine. I can't complain too much.
Now, with Tim losing, I basically clinched the playoffs, but I'm going to tell anybody who's listening to this what. I will not win a single fucking game, and I'm not going to win a game the rest of my time in this league.
I have never seen anything like it. 7-0 to verse. You're losing out.
I'm gonna be 7-7. I'm 7-6 right now. I'm gonna
6
be
straight.
7-7. Like there's no. Well, yeah, because like let's face it, my team's horrible. Like I
When
got
you-
nothing left.
When you lose Cooper Kupp, it is
like
you can't replace that.
and sure, like Barkley's been awesome, sure, but that's one player. And DeAndre Swift, he finally maybe he's back, but like. Even that, like the rest of my lineup is just so weak, and now I just lost Lamar Jackson too. Like, just add him to the fucking
Mike Williams
report. Yeah, just put him on there
Yeah,
too.
I've
like,
never seen I've never seen a team get this
oh god, like I mean,
struck.
to go from the highs of highs to the lows of
like
lows.
I mean,
like that in
Lamar
one season.
Jackson, Cup, Swift, basically, like fucking Mike Williams was good this year. Zach Ertz, Mike
It's-
Thomas,
You've lost Jacoby
It's like-
Myers.
it's like that
Jacoby
one-
Myers for periods of
What
time.
was
Like
the one movie? Once I get to the end of the movie, though, what's in the fucking box? That
oh,
shit.
it's 7.
Yeah, that.
Like what's
Like, I mean,
next?
hell,
What's next?
like hell, like Barkley is my healthiest player. Like
Isn't it ironic?
this guy's literally known for getting injured. This guy's my healthiest player. Like he's played every single game and had like 30 touches.
Yeah, he hasn't been hurt this year.
No, and he's been getting a crazy workload. Like Barkley has been incredible. I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that until the day I die. I'm gonna hold on to that like my little teddy bear that I
I
sleep
don't,
with.
I don't
Wow.
blame you. I'm
You know
holding on
what?
to the Jalen
You know what
Hurts.
hurts
Yeah.
even more?
What?
Noticing that I play you this week and like half your team's on a bye, and I probably would have beaten you.
Half of my team
To
might
make
as well
it.
be on a bye anyway.
Oh,
Most of the time.
Seeing that just stung a little bit.
So, in order for Tim to have a chance still, he would have had to win this week, but he ran into a buzzsaw.
Yep.
And then
Pretty
Would it-
much what I would have needed to happen was if Brandon lost last week and I won,
him
I
to
had
lose
like a
again.
75% chance of making it. Because if I would have beat Mark, we both would have been. Yeah, if I would have won and beat Mark, we both would have ended 7-7, and I would
You
have
would
pushed
actually
him
make it
out
over
for the
Mark.
wild card. Exactly.
Yeah, because
But
my
I had to
team-
win. If I won last week, the chances of me making playoffs were like 75%.
You would make it because
Even
my
if
team
Brandon won,
my team
I
fucking
still had it out if Mark lost.
fucking
But
flat out stinks.
Because
like I
if,
said, it happens. It
is-
is what it is.
if me, Brandon, you, and Mark all finished 7-7, the 3 of us would make it over Mark because
Yeah.
of your horrible month that you had.
Yeah, because of the
And
full-
I've
I have
outscored
less
him.
points than
I've
everybody.
also outscored you by like 130.
Yeah, I have less
so-
points than it. That went from having the second most points in the lead to I think the least.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you did.
or one of the
to
least.
be fair, you did lose the guy who was averaging you like 30 to 40 points
I
a week.
mean,
like,
yeah, Cooper Cup was averaging
the same,
about 30
dude, if
points
the same
a
thing
game.
happened to me,
like,
I wouldn't even have been. If I would have lost Justin Jefferson, my season would have been over week 2. Like,
it's
he
tough, man.
carried me at some point.
And it's hard to just try and keep up when you,
yeah.
because you play it because you want to watch the best player that you have just
Yeah,
absolutely killed on the field. And then when they're gone and you don't have a really deep team to begin with, because let's be honest, most teams don't have Cooper Kupp and Tyreek Hill, where it's
Yeah.
like, okay, I lose one, I still have a number 1 guy. Most teams, if you had Cooper Kupp, he was it.
Yep.
So like if most teams they have just Tyreek Hill, and if you lose Tyreek Hill, It's like, what's the point? Stephon Diggs or Christian McCaffrey or Austin Eckler, Travis Kelce. You need these stars to keep your interest in the game
Yeah, you know, like I
in a way.
don't want to sit down on a Sunday and watch Jacoby Myers and Devin
Yeah.
Singletary.
You want to be like, that's my guy. That's the star.
Yeah, like,
I
I
want to see him
really-
do star things.
Now Brian, you're in a pretty good spot
Yeah.
in TJ. At least I think.
In terms
are.
of what? Positioning?
I think with everything, I think you have a all-star lineup to be on going into the playoffs. I
So-
mean, you've lost a couple kind of close games that I can't really like fault you for losing. You just kind of
Well,
like
I was.
with Joe.
We heard it last
Like,
week.
like, you know, like, you can't really do anything about that. So
I mean, when you score what? So in fantasy football, if you're scoring 130 every single week, you're probably going to win 7 times out of 10.
more often
Yeah,
than
More
not.
often than not.
Because that's usually in the top 5 to 4 range. The problem is when you're the 4th or 3rd scorer and you're playing the 1st or 2nd, that's
Yeah.
when it becomes a problem. So I think of fantasy football, it does require skill. Like there's a difference in teams that always are missing playoffs versus the teams that always make it. The difference is you get 50% luck involved because
Yeah.
you can score as many points as you like. You set up the lineup, you play your guys, you can score as many points and have as much impact yourself on that. But the problem is you can't control who you're facing every week.
Yep.
And that's where the luck part comes
Yeah.
in.
You might face a guy that drops 200 on you.
Exactly.
Or you might have your worst week, but then play a team that scores 90. Like that can happen for you as well. So it kind of like your schedule determines a lot. I've had some good fantasy teams in the past that I've like barely walked into the playoffs because I've gotten 200 dropped on me fucking every week, like Tim this year.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, week 1, I won a close one against Dave. Week 2, you blew me out of the water, 198 to 119. I won week 3.
Yeah, I remember those.
Lost week
days.
4. Got 219 dropped on me in week 5. I lost by over 100 points. Like, there's nothing I can do about that. But it's just, like I said, it happens. There was a few games where I should have won if I just
Ooh.
started the right guy. But
I remember we were talking about it where like Tim is getting smoked.
it's
It's
just,
so funny.
He was down by like 80.
Like you just see somebody getting fucking
Just a
greased.
Just
actually,
obliterated.
I
By
want to
2
see, because
o'clock.
if I remember correctly, I think it was Big B was when I lost by over 100. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, I think 5 of his guys had 40.
Well, Big B has the best team that I've seen in this league
I want to
since we
say, 'cause
started.
I think I could still look at the
Tell you the
scores. I
truth.
think they keep track of it.
Well,
Let's see.
everyone also goes through like those weeks. You're gonna have weeks where you score a lot and still lose. Like
Oh, yeah. Josh Allen had 48. Eckler had 40.
yeah.
Kelsey had 3. That was the week Kelsey had 4 touchdowns on 7 catches for 25
You
yards.
can't do nothing.
Like,
Like you can't
and
do
Tyler
nothing about
Lockett had
that.
5 catches for 104 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do about that? Like,
Nothing.
and
You
like,
just had to sit
I
there
just
and
gotta
take
sit
it.
there and watch.
Like Big B, like I've never seen anything like this. Like everyone hit.
Everybody.
Like to even Brandon last year when he just walked to the championship pretty much, he did have Dak still.
Like, he
like,
wasn't
I
like
think
it's not
completely
like
stacked.
Brandon
Big
had,
B
like-
might
like-
have the best team I've ever
Yeah,
seen
like,
in fantasy.
Because Brandon at least had like a weakness or two. He still had a ridiculous team. Brandon, like he had Devontae Adams, Chase, like his
Still
team was
ridiculous, but this
Jonathan
team's better.
Taylor, but
Yeah, that's what I'm
Big
saying. Like,
B-
this is
literally has
He hasn't even made a trade.
dude. Big
he
B
hasn't made a
doesn't have
single
a running
trade.
back this week. He has a blank spot. He's still projected 131.
like he's
With an
11 and
empty
2.
slot.
That's
Like,
ridiculous.
He
That's
has
insane.
he has the quarterback 1, Josh Allen. He has the running back 2, Austin Eckler. He has the wide receiver 3,
Oh, Hill's
and
3 now.
Tyreek Hill. He has the
Give him a
10th.
week.
Yeah.
He has the 10th wide receiver in Tyler Lockett, the tight
Tight
end
end
1 in Kelsey. He has Amari Cooper, who's also tied for the 10th ranked receiver. So that's 3 top 10 receivers,
We let this
including
happen.
his tight
He
end.
even has the number 1 kicker.
We let this happen.
I mean, we
And
did.
His second running back is the only spot on his team that's mid. But even so, like he can just get 10 points a week from that, and it's fine.
Because he
'cause,
took
like,
all
every-
these proven guys.
Like, yeah, he didn't get cute with it. He didn't take guys like DeAndre Swift,
We called him
Like,
crazy at the draft too.
like Javante
We
Williams.
did. We called him nuts.
Like
and it 11 and 2.
Zeke.
11 and 2.
Like we got cute. Like CeeDee Lamb even.
Yeah.
To be honest, like it took him a little bit. He's finally kicking ass now, but he was very mid
For most of the
for a
season.
while.
For,
It's the lessons that we learned. We got to stop fading guys, especially top-notch wide
But-
receivers. That doesn't matter who the quarterback is; they're going to get it done.
But this kid's team
And
is
we just got to
insane.
stop being cute with it. And I'm also, from here on out, I agree with your strategy. I am no longer taking a running back in the first round. It's done. It's over. It's gone. From here on out, I'm convinced the top five picks should all be wide receivers.
because
It's-
you see all these teams that are successful, and they got guys like Josh Jacobs and Tony
Yeah.
Pollard, and
First
then
off, Josh Jacobs, this is just a fucking
It's
anomaly.
ridiculous.
Okay, this is not
we were
happening again.
so wrong.
No, we weren't. This is not going to happen
We
again.
we
His
no.
fucking ADP is going to skyrocket next year, and he's going to go right back to where he was.
But like us, like we were so wrong about him.
Like
Like,
we
we
were
couldn't-
disgusted at
But
his name.
be
that's
any
your point, though.
wronger, like-
That just proves your point, I feel like, because it's like, why am I going to go out here and take Jonathan Taylor with the first pick when I can take a guy like Cooper Kupp or Justin Jefferson and then hit on Josh Jacobs in like round 5?
I mean, I would still draft Derrick Henry.
Well, honestly, looking at it now, it's
Not
like
in top 5, I wouldn't.
you can hit
Depends
on
who's
later.
available.
You can hit on later running backs. I
Yeah.
feel like it's easier to do that or pick up guys
Yeah.
rather than hitting on receivers late. I
I
feel
mean,
like
Ramondre Stevenson, when did he go?
Yeah,
In free
that's
agency,
true.
he went, what,
He's
like
a
round
big-
6, and that's a 14-man league? And he
Yes.
was there round 6?
I
Like,
think he was probably the last pick of the draft in our
in
league,
our
the
league, I don't even
TJ
think
league.
yeah, I think he was. I think he was one of the last picks.
And then look where he
Running
is
back
now.
10. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's I don't
Load
know,
up on
man.
receiver early and then
Exactly.
load up on running back late.
Yeah.
Maybe don't completely fade running backs.
Yeah.
Get them just later because it's the same fucking results.
Like you said, like
5
Derrick
times
Henry,
out of 10.
Yeah, like with Derrick Henry, yeah, he'll still go first round as he should. I mean, he's going to average like 20 points.
Yeah, like
But
if
I just
I'm,
top 5, I can't. Like if I got to choose between Justin Jefferson and him at like
Oh,
pick 3
yeah.
or 4, it's Justin Jefferson. every
I'd
time.
probably take Justin Jefferson
Yeah,
with the
like-
number 1 pick. To tell you the truth, like he's becoming like almost automatic at this
Yeah.
point. Like he's matchup proof. Like I think he's had about 2 bad games this year. Like I'll fucking take
Yeah.
that shit.
I would take
I
that
like
feel
too.
like
any
the
day of the
top 5
week.
picks for next year's kind of already solidified, barring injury, of course. But it's probably going to be like Diggs, Jefferson, Kupp, Henry maybe in there if one of those 3 go. But I don't.
I'd have
For
to
me,
agree.
next year, I don't know who the first overall pick is. It's between like 3 guys.
Yeah, because the Jefferson has had honestly 3 bad games this year.
Yeah.
And the one game was 10 points, which
Yeah,
is just bad for him.
that's just bad for him.
So, yeah, I think this guy is going to be the next. I think we're transitioning into the next, like,
Yeah.
these are going to be like the Julio
The-
Jones,
The Hall of
and
Fame receivers.
the Antonio Browns, and Calvin Johnsons of this next era that we're going into.
It's looking like it. And why don't we so for the finalized playoff bracket in the TJ League, Big B's got the bye. That's locked up.
Shocker.
Dave and Brandon. So Brandon needs to outscore Dave. So he needs Dave to lose, and he needs to win for Brandon to get the bye.
Or other way around.
If Dave, I think if Dave wins, he'll get the bye no matter
Yeah.
what. Joe, he's pretty much locked in as the 3 spot. I can't get it over him, and I think the 4 and 5 seeds. So I'm either playing Brandon or Dave, depending on how that matchup turns out. And
yeah.
and then you be playing Joe. That's a fucking bye for him.
Yeah. I'm going to get blown out. So that'll be Joe in the semifinal.
You can mark Joe into the
And then-
semifinal as it is.
Injury bug, man.
It's ugly.
It is ugly.
Just how my the free agency team is for me and the 14 man. So I am 4-7-1, and I need a win and 2 other teams to lose to make it as the 7th seed. Fuck this. Like I don't even care to make it at this point because my team. I lost Cooper Kupp and a 14 man. That's a death sentence.
Brian
Yeah.
was in my position.
Yeah,
in
like-
that league.
I was scoring over 100 every week, which is really great in a 14 man league, but. A shocker, lose Cooper Kupp. Now I can't even break 100. You know, when you lose a guy that accounts for 30 of your fucking points,
I
it's
mean,
probably
it
gonna
It's
happen
in
more.
their
than-
struggle.
It fucking hurts,
But-
man. Like,
I won it all last year, so it doesn't hurt as much this year because the residue's still there. It's like I just won. Like that took off a lot of pressure. But how about you guys? You guys are 2 teams that haven't won in a long time, but your teams are
Yeah.
doing pretty well.
I
right
will
now.
say, Tim's team is doing. Tim is actually. What's your record, Tim? You have 9 wins.
I am 9-4. And I think in my last see, it was weird because my team was struggling for a minute. I was like 3-3, and then my team just went on like a 7-game heater, and just fucking started destroying
heater.
everybody. But
Fucking heater.
And now you
oh,
have
I'm
9
sorry.
wins.
So I went in my last in my last 7, I'm 6-1, and I was struggling. But I just started going off because my Joe Burrow decided to be a quarterback. So
He did have didn't he have a surgery?
I don't know if it was he had a surgery, but I know at the beginning of the year I was like kind of hitting the panic button because really what it came down to was I had the 14th pick. I had the last pick of the draft. It came down to if Aaron Jones could turn out to be okay, and then if Higgins turned out to be what we thought T. Higgins would be. Luckily, he turned out to be what we thought he would be. The trade I made with Dean to get DK Metcalf, DK turning out to be a good wide receiver. So it kind of just, I got lucky, is the way I'm going to put it in this one. And then Melvin Gordon got cut, and I picked up Latavius Murray. I had him stashed.
DeAndre Hopkins again.
DeAndre Hopkins again, absolutely. But no, it was one of those things where everything fell the way I needed it to fall in this league.
Yeah, like
So I'll take it.
But now you have 9 wins.
Yeah.
I wish I had 9
And I'm
wins
fighting for the bye. It's going to come down to
between you two.
me and him.
Yeah, I need to keep winning. I think this actually is the most games I've ever won in a redraft season.
Yeah, same.
Across any league?
Yeah, because I'm 10-3 now. I think 10. I don't think I've ever had 10 wins before
I've never had 10 wins.
in a redraft league.
Actually, no, I did.
I think I had 10 the one year I won it, the second year.
I also,
Like,
you know what?
way
no,
back
I
in the
had
day.
10.
I think that's
We
when
were
I
like
had
14
10.
though.
Yeah.
Like it was like
That's like
that
Mike
doesn't-
Vick went in the first round.
Yeah.
didn't he?
Like,
Nobody fucking knew Dick. We just
we still don't know.
I think that was
Dick.
the only
Yeah.
time I
Clearly.
had 10 wins.
clearly.
Because I think the first time I was 7-6 and I won. And then I think the second time I was 10-3 and I won. And then the next several years we're not going to talk about because that was just
Darkness.
dark ages.
We all had some dark years, and for
Foster in the fourth when he had a torn ACL and I didn't know it. Fucking Laquan Treadwell in the third.
Oh,
Good
God, well, I mean,
Oh.
I still don't know what you were doing there to this day.
Neither do I to this day. I don't know either. So
The one
Right.
year I had Jay Ajayi, Dalvin Cook, and Leonard Fournette, they all got hurt the first week.
no, that's
I was
not
done.
worse than what was it? Big B had who was it? Steve
Jamal
Smith,
Charles.
Jamal Charles, and somebody else, and they all died.
Well, it happened to Big B several times,
Yeah.
though. Like,
It always happens.
Or no, it was
Big B-
Cam who had Lev Bell and Steve Smith, and in the same game at the same time, they both tore their ACLs.
And that was his best team. He hasn't had a
Yep.
good one since.
dude, there were some crazy teams that year. The one year Shane had, like, LaShawn McCoy, Le'Veon Bell,
No, he had
I-
he had Matt Forte,
Matt Forte,
Jamal Charles.
and LaShawn McCoy, right?
No, I had
No, he had
LaShawn
Lev
McCoy.
Bell.
He had Lev Bell. He had
And
those
then
three.
Lev Bell.
Yeah,
And he
he's-
still didn't win.
Well, it's because back then we did the fucking 2-week playoffs.
Oh, yeah, fuck
Yeah.
that. I
4
hated-
teams, 2 week. Like, why did we do that?
Because
That was
even
the
though
dumbest
I
thing
did
ever.
win in that format, I still don't like it.
No, it's
that's the
terrible.
dumbest thing ever.
I think the 1 week is way better.
There was because there's plenty of times where I actually won. I had more points the first week than I lost the second week.
Yeah.
I never won in that format because
And that sucks.
No, that's how I won. The second one was because it was the 2-week format. It was
Yeah.
against TJ when TJ Farrow when he was
Yeah.
still in the league. He was up by like 30 going into the second week, and I was like, "Oh, that's it, I'm done." And his team dropped like 83, and I dropped 150, and I wound up winning because my whole team just snapped. I should not have won that
and that's
championship.
in that fucking second week. It's,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the
you-
dumbest thing
You
ever.
go through the whole season going by 1 week, and then you get to the playoffs and you got to do 2 weeks. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so glad we
Dumbest-
got rid of that.
Yeah, it was the
Same.
Great.
At
Greatest
one
move we
point,
made.
we had only 4 teams made it out of 14. So your season was over by week 6
And then that
in
was
some cases.
yeah.
that fucking blew.
I can't believe we did that.
When
We,
we did-
wasted some years on
But
that.
then we expanded the playoffs. Now this league is fucking competitive as shit. Like,
I love it.
It's because it's not like a league where it's nobody knows what they're doing. Everybody knows
look at
what they're doing.
the fucking other division though. Like Joe's 8-2, then Luca's 6-3-1, then 4-6, 4-6, 4-6, and then Brian is 4-6-1, right? Or 4-7-1. And then Big B is what? 4-8?
He's 5-8.
5-8. So
Yeah.
literally, like that whole division can still make the playoffs. Pretty
It's-
much.
It's fucking sickening. So I need to beat Big B. I need Tom and Gabe to lose, and I make it in as I squeak in.
The good news is though, all of your matchups are favorable.
They are, but
That's like
it's like, what's the point? I'm gonna get my shit pushed in. For it was the first round of the playoffs. I'm done.
See, I want the bye because I don't feel like going up against Max. Because Max just has my number for no reason whatsoever.
There's always those teams.
Like, it's just, like, he could be projected 5 points and the dude will drop 50.
And Max has what, 6 wins?
Yes. And
He's
if
6 and
playoffs
7.
started today, I would be playing Max because you would have the bye right now, which is why I need you to lose next week so I can get the
So
bye.
right now, the West Division is pretty fucking crazy too. So
There.
I am in first place with 10 wins. I'm 10-3. Tim is 9-4
Yep.
in second place. He's right on my ass. Cam is what, 7-4?
Cam is
7-5? I'm
7
pretty
and
sure
5,
Cam
I
has
think.
7 wins.
Yeah.
Cam's team is pretty good, as annoying as that is.
That's always annoying to say.
Josh Jacobs.
Josh
that's
And
Jacobs.
that's Josh
Um,
Jacobs. That's literally all it is.
He's
That's-
gonna haunt me the rest of my life.
And then Max is 6-5, right? Or 6-6, right? He has 6 wins.
No, he's 6 and 7.
6-7.
Our thing got fucked up because we
I can't.
basically restarted the league at 3 weeks in.
Yeah, I don't know why
No,
that happened.
Actually,
so.
that works out perfectly. Luca actually just put in our group chat what has to happen for everybody to make it for like the
Oh,
people
he
to win.
did. Good. He's
So
he
the
just-
scenarios are for playoffs. Big B, if he wins, he's in. Brian, you need to win. You need Tom to lose and Gabe to lose. Gabe needs to win. Tom needs to lose, and Big B needs to lose. Tom has to win, and he needs Big B to lose. So if Big B wins, you're all just fucked. That's what it comes down to. You need to beat Big B.
Yeah, well, this is
For the
is-
bye,
chips are in.
Big B has the simplest path.
yes. For the
the
bye,
playoff.
Joe needs to win, and Mark needs to lose. Oh, I can't even get the bye.
I feel like you can if me and Joe both lost.
I think that's it. I think you
I
and
think you
Joe both need to
could.
lose. But if you just win, you get it, no
Be-
matter what.
Well, no, but Joe has 9 wins too, doesn't he?
No, he's in my division. So you and it's going to be between you and Mark.
No, Luca's just stupid then.
No, but Joe is leading his division. He has 9 wins.
Yeah, Luca can't get it over him, I don't think.
No, so
So Joe's going to get the Oh
The-
yeah, there's one bye. That's right.
yeah,
that's
there's
what I
only
was gonna say. I
one
think there's only
bye.
one
So
bye.
So
I
whoever's the
think
1
Joe,
seed.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Joe might get it regardless then because I don't know if Joe has the head-to-head or that's how we do it in this league, right? It's not
Yeah, it's
points,
head-to-head.
it's head-to-head.
Yeah.
Which is annoying.
Yeah, it is kind of
You know, what?
annoying.
I don't even care that I didn't get the bye. I clinched. I'm fine. And then the teams that already clinched, it's me, Joe, Luca, you, Max, and Cam are the teams that already clinched. So
I'm
there's
not gonna
one spot
lie.
left.
This team, this is
Do you need me to do it for you?
No,
You sure?
we're fine.
Okay.
fine.
this is probably the best team that I've ever had in this league.
Without a doubt, this is mine.
To tell you the truth, like I'm pretty pumped because like I've been doing this league for like 9 years now.
This is our 10th season.
So 8 years because I joined the 3rd year. I didn't do it the first
That's
2
right.
years. So I joined. So this is my 8th year doing it. This team is honestly better than the year I did win the championship. But
Well,
like
that was your first year, and then you haven't sniffed it since.
no, not the championship. I have made the playoffs a couple times, but I've had some dark years too in this league, for sure. But
We're fine. We're okay. It's like the Titanic.
That's why I keep laughing. I just look and it's just
Hold on.
slowly.
It's because I just have it up here in this. I mean, it doesn't
Chris
see
is
like it doesn't
I-
go.
Producer
is like-
Chris, we need you.
Chris
Yeah,
is
we-
like,
we-
Oh,
I need to come fix it.
I don't know what happened.
is it just not tight enough?
We're gonna go with that.
Chris needs to step in.
What if I just remember Willy Wonka? Augustus Gloop like fucking ate the microphone. Remember that? Yeah, technical difficulties on the show.
I know it's a shame.
Why don't you go outside and play hide and go fuck off?
Hide and go fuck off. Well, that's a great way to kick off our dynasty playoffs as it stands. Tim, you're tanking.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't even have my pick. It's just a shit show.
Tim traded me his pick. Tom tried to get that shit off me too for some bullshit. He
Yeah.
thought that I wouldn't notice.
Never
Well, to
trade
be
with
fair,
Tom.
The reason why I was like, oh, okay, I'll make these trades is because I thought I was going to be able to get Justin Jefferson because Tom was talking about trading Justin Jefferson.
He played you like a fiddle.
Yeah.
Played me like a fiddle.
'Cause
And
I
made
tried
the
to-
trade. I made the trades, and I was like, oh, I'm going to get Jefferson. That's fine. I'll give up my first round pick. And then last minute, Tom was like, yeah, I'm not trading him. I was like, you got to be fucking
A
kidding
tip
me.
for everybody who listens to this, like maybe the 5 people, who knows, don't ever make a trade in hopes of another trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like
Don't
they
ever-
could just fall. Like
That just
there's no honor in fantasy
there is
football.
no honor.
Why would I take that?
What is it?
It's Tom.
See, like what the fuck?
Dobbins.
What does
Why
Tom,
would I take that?
Kenneth Walker for Dobbins?
What?
Tom's been trying to trade some bullshit with. He's been offering me some bullshit trades all year.
He
Like, he
just-
does it every single week. I'm like, Tom, like, what do you think I'm gonna do? Like,
It's darts. He just hopes it sticks.
but like, do you think I'm actually gonna take this? No, I did send Samba Hall for Justin Jefferson too in the summer. I did try to get him.
The funny thing is,
you
is that
offered him
my
like most of
team-
your lineup.
The funny thing is that my
He's
team in
still-
Dynasty isn't even that horrible. My quarterback just sucks.
But you are tanking
No, no,
You were-
absolutely untanking.
You are taking
with
that.
no
I'm
first
100%
round.
attacking with no first round pick. I don't think I
That's-
have a first round pick
it's a
for the next
bold
2 years,
strategy.
actually.
Here I come, by John Robinson.
So
I'm
fucking
gonna add him to my fucking lineup.
Mark is 12-1. I'm his only loss.
Then I'm probably gonna
Fuck
have
yourself.
a top 2 pick because Tim is tanking.
So I'm in a division.
No, I do have a first round pick this year. Yay.
Oh, but it's not yours.
It's not mine. It's Tom's.
Who Tom is
You
mid.
should totally do me a favor and give me my pick back.
See, I just can't do that though.
Not even if I give you like Tom's pick and a like Nick Chubb or somebody.
I can't.
Just losing the consolation bracket too, then it lowers his chances of a good pick.
You would just need to keep winning despite me. You're 3-10 right now. Luca is trying to out tank you at 2-11.
Oh, he's so trying to out tank you.
He is really like he is just.
He went back to back, and now it's all over.
For those of
It's
you
repped
wondering
up.
how bad my dynasty team is, my kicker was my second highest scorer this week.
That's rough.
Yeah, he had 19 points.
And I scored 200.
Must be
It
nice.
was pretty nice.
Must be
Yeah.
nice. Did I even break
Shit on
100 this
Dean.
week? Oh, I did. I
Now
got
Tom
101.
is actually 8-5, so he's
All right, I'll have it.
Me and Tom are 8-5. Dean is 7-6. So all the good teams are in one division.
basically because in the other division, Cam is 11-2, and then Fabio is 6-7, and he's second.
But
And then
Fabio
Nick's
plays
5
Nick.
and 8.
He plays
so-
Nick. So if Nick wins, Nick is in.
Yeah, Nick
Fabio
will
wins,
make it.
Fabio's in as the 6th seed. So that's really the only implications in this. Everybody else already clinched last week because the balance between the bottom teams and the top teams is so fucking.
This
It's so different.
This went wrong for me in Dynasty last year, or was it 2 years ago?
It was Jonathan Taylor. You traded everything to get Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, well, it wasn't only that. There was another gem that we all forget, to where I had 2 first round picks that year, and this was the year that Diggs went to Buffalo, and Mark wanted to trade me Stephon Diggs for the 7th overall pick, and I said no.
And I traded
And
Diggs anyway.
I
I still hate
proceeded
myself
to
for
take
it.
Jalen Rager with that pick.
Oh,
Yeah,
that hurts.
yeah, that
Zoinks.
Oh,
That
yikes.
is
Jankies.
yeah, that's
Wow.
wow.
That's
Pain.
tough.
That's what that is.
fucking awful.
To be honest, though, me trading Stephon Diggs away is pretty painful too. But I'm not gonna complain because I'm 12-1.
You're 12-1. You can't complain.
right now.
You can't complain.
I just won by 0.6 this week, or like
No.
0.4.
0.24 you won.
0.24 because Tom Brady decided to yet again
Win
drive
a game.
drive down the field in the last 2 minutes and win
Skies
the game.
blue.
Yeah, so and he also had Mike Evans. Dude, I got lucky as fuck.
I just
Dude,
picture.
I actually feel bad because like that just almost like kicked Nick out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Like I honestly genuinely feel bad.
You know what I just thought of? Like the defensive coordinators on the field and watches Tom Brady go down the field and like win the game. And he's just like, wow.
Yeah, like, oh wow, my God.
Shocker.
Like, what am I supposed to do?
Tom Brady yet
Like,
again.
He just goes right down the field.
Ugh.
And to Rashad White as well, which
Yep.
kicked him out of the playoffs, basically. That's
lots
just
of fun times
I
around
just
here
can't
in
escape
fantasy.
Tom Brady.
The-
I just can't. He fucks me every year somehow. I just can't escape this
how to-
motherfucker.
cookie crumbles. But in Dynasty right now, we have 2 buys. So right now, me and Cam have the buys, and then Tom is playing Dean, and then Fabio will play Brian. But if Nick beats Fabio this week, then Brian will play Nick.
And I like my chances against both.
Yeah,
We'll
I
see.
mean, your project. I know projections aren't the end all be all,
No.
but you are projected 30 more.
Yeah, I like
So,
that.
Yeah, like that's a pretty significant.
Fabio
difference.
did beat me though, but I had probably my worst week all year.
Yeah,
It's
so-
that there's always happened. I think 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
can
like
give them a smack. You know what I'm saying?
I'm 12-1, and whatchamacallit, smack the fucking shit out of me. Who did I play last week?
It was me.
Yeah,
I'm the only one that gave you.
yeah,
that
you,
one.
you fucking spanked the shit. You
Yeah,
beat
that's
me by
right.
like 70. Like,
That's
so
right. I'm getting hot at the right time.
like you have, yeah, and like you did just score 200 this week. So who knows? Like I score 163 and won, but like if I score 163 and you score 200, like you're obviously gonna win. So
oh yeah.
like we'll see. Like you are getting hot at the right time, and I hate it because
Well, you know who else is getting hot at the right time? Mr. Mike White.
yeah,
He's hot. He's white hot.
Mike White is hot.
So we're going to talk about some easy playoff schedules for respective positions in fantasy football. At quarterback, we got Mike White, Brock
Mike.
Purdy, and Tyler Huntley because Lamar Jackson is going to be out.
Michael
Yes.
White.
Brock Purdy, he played a decent game stepping in
He
against the
did
Dolphins.
actually.
And he has the Seattle, Washington, and Las Vegas in the playoffs. Now, if you're a team that had Jimmy Garoppolo, and obviously the trade deadline passes by the time the playoffs start, Brock Purdy might not be a bad option. I think if I were a Jimmy G owner, the waiver wire is probably already thin. I think I might check Brock Purdy out.
I need to see another week from Brock Purdy.
Yeah, I think you can.
I think there's better options still, like the next guy we're going to talk about.
Well, I think so. With Brock Purdy, Brock Purdy, you just got to get the ball to Debo. You got to get the ball to Kittle. You got to get the ball to CMC, and whatever they do, he's going to get the credit for it.
And Kyle Juszczyk and Jordan Mason.
Yeah, of course. They got to get their fucking touches.
You got to get them. The
Although
ball as well.
CMC had a great week this week,
He
and
did.
I think they're going to lean on him a little bit
Caught
more.
a touchdown from Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy. So like that's what I'm saying. You just got to get the ball to CMC. Or
Still hate Kyle Shanahan.
I still hate him too. I hope he has a horrible Christmas, and I mean it.
I mean it.
And who's the other guy you think is a better option?
Mike White.
Mike White. I do think.
Michael fucking White.
I can't wait for the fucking shit show that is going to ensue in this offseason.
I think Mike White against the Bills is. I know the Bills are 5th against QBs this year, but I'm sorry, 8th. I can't see. But I still kind of like that matchup because I think the game could be pretty high scoring. Plus, the Jets have a defense who can get turnovers.
Yep.
And Josh Allen has been doing that like it's his job recently. So I don't know. I kind of like Mike White this week. I'm honestly thinking about picking him up in free agency for this week, and I need to win.
Well, the thing is, with his playoff schedule, he has Detroit, Jacksonville, and Seattle.
Yeah, and I like all those matchups.
That's the number one easiest opponent for quarterbacks in
Yeah.
the playoffs.
And Mike White knows he's on a short leash. This is what was he, undrafted? Or like a 7th round pick or something?
I don't really think he's on a short leash.
No, but
I really don't think if
They're
I'm
winning
him,
with him.
that's what I'm saying.
The
I don't think he thinks he's on a short leash.
the only reason I think he's on a short leash is because Zach Wilson was the 2nd pick in the draft.
Yeah, but
I
the
think that's
thing
the
is,
only
even
reason.
though
Zach
he's a
Wilson,
second pick, they're winning with Mike
they
White.
are. But I think as soon as Mike White loses or has a bad game, Zach Wilson will go back in.
Well, I think
And I think it's only because of where Zach Wilson was drafted. I don't think it's because he's better or
I
good.
really think he's
I
going to
don't
get
know.
traded this year in the offseason.
He might.
I really think he's going to.
Well, I think that I wouldn't say that just yet, but I think for this season, I don't think Zach Wilson comes back in.
I don't think he does.
I think that locker room would go in fucking turmoil.
The reason why I think he gets traded is because of what Mark just said. He was a 1st round pick.
Yeah.
And you're not just going to have that sit on the bench. But if it's kind of proven that, like, all right, this dude can't win, and then on top of it, he's not going to sit there and say, no, it's my fault we lost. I didn't screw us over. The team no longer is going to play for him. I mean, let's be honest. If you're going off of just the first round pick thing, he should be starting no matter what. The reason he's not playing is because, well, A, he sucks, and then B, because the team doesn't want him playing. The
Yeah.
second he said what he said, that's when it was, oh, okay, that's it. You're not starting now.
It seems like the team likes Mike White
Yeah.
a lot more too.
It's
Look,
literally a repeat of the whole Wentz and Foles thing, to
I
where the
want-
team liked one guy and they didn't like the other.
I want Mike White to stay in.
Oh, so
to
do
be
I.
honest,
I like his story.
and especially if you have a Jets receiver too, like especially Garrett Wilson, like
If Mike White's in and Garrett Wilson is in, I think those two can help win you championships. in the
yeah, I think
playoffs.
Garrett Wilson's entering fringe wide receiver 1 territory.
I think he's already there.
with the Mike White
I
playing.
agree. I think he's there.
Like
Like,
he's just put it all together
Yep.
now.
Mike White's been targeting the shit out of him.
Hmm.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna be all over Garrett Wilson and be wrong next year. I can't wait
If
for that.
not, if he's the quarterback. If Mike
yeah,
White turns out to
maybe
be
Mike
QB
White
next
will be
year,
good. And
But-
I do like Mike White's story as well. I hope he turns out to be good. I really do.
like
Ano-
he has 94 targets.
Yeah, like, that's pretty awesome.
Like that's pretty good.
in his rookie year
and it's just going to
He
continue
had
to go up.
15
Yeah.
targets last game. He had 15 targets
with Mike White
with Mike White. Like,
against
They
a
could have a
fucking
duo there in
tough
New York.
defense.
was
We'll
Mike
see how
White?
it unfolds.
Who was the QB? Because I know Zach Wilson wasn't the quarterback for the first few weeks. Who was the quarterback
Joe
week 2
Flacco.
and week 3? Was
Joe
it Joe
Flacco
Flacco
was-
week 2 and 3?
Yeah, it was Joe
Beginning of the
Flacco.
year, Joe Flacco was QB.
So literally, when it's a quarterback that's not Zach Wilson, he has double-digit targets. When it is Zach Wilson, he can barely touch 9.
Yeah,
So-
and I will say Mike White. He did have 2 picks, but he threw for damn near almost 400 yards against the
Yeah.
Vikings, who have 9 wins, 10 wins.
And
So
he's putting them in positions to win better than Zach Wilson.
yes,
Another guy that could put you in a position to win is Tyler Huntley because
Yes.
Lamar Jackson's supposed to be out. They're saying 1 to 3 weeks. So if he's out for the playoffs, and we've seen Tyler Huntley come in and play well. He plays Cleveland, Atlanta, and Pittsburgh. That's the 12th easiest at quarterback. And with fresh legs, all you got to do is just pepper Mark Andrews with targets.
Yep.
We saw him do it last year. He could play at a quarterback 1 level, and I think if you're a Lamar Jackson owner heading into the playoffs, like you, maybe you should consider Tyler Huntley.
he also rushed 10 times
Yeah,
as well. So
he's Lamar Jackson light,
yes,
but healthier than Lamar Jackson, so he can outperform what Lamar Jackson's been giving you so far.
Yeah, I will say I would rather pick up Mike White still, but I don't think Huntley's a bad option at all. I think he can kind of end up being like Marcus Mariota has
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
this year, where like he maybe can give you like 15 to 20 just because of the rushing, sort of.
I think Tyler Huntley would be. I wouldn't put him on Marcus Mariota's level, honestly. Just because Marcus Mariota's fucking terrible. We've seen Tyler Huntley get it done. Like I think I would take Tyler Huntley over these guys for the rushing possibility.
That's true, because like you never know, he can honestly rip one off.
It's going to be
too.
the same offense as Lamar Jackson because they're virtually the same players. So I know he can get it done in the passing game, and I think he'll get it done with his legs also.
Yeah, there's definitely worse backups you can have than Tyler Huntley.
Yeah, there are worse.
There
but,
might be worse starters you can have too than him, to tell you the truth.
but Isaiah Pacheco. He's a guy who I think is going to be a league winner.
Yeah, the Chiefs have kind of just been peppering him with carries, to tell you the truth. Like, I
He's
don't-
won that job.
yeah, I mean, Clyde has just been a non-factor, pretty much. Like they just gave up on Clyde, basically.
And not only that, he has the number 1 schedule for running backs in terms of like easiness.
Hmm.
He's number 1. Round 1 he opens up with Houston. Round 2 Seattle. He does play Denver in championship week, but if you can get 2 blow-up games against really good matchups your first 2 rounds of the playoffs, you're in the championship possibly.
Yeah.
I like Isaiah Pacheco as what they call a league winner, and I think he can be.
And Pacheco's had 3 straight weeks now of 15 points, pretty much. 14 last week, and then 15 previous week, and then this week.
And he's getting the carries.
He's getting carries. He's been in the double digits. He had over 20 last week against the Rams. This week only 14, but still, he still scored.
He's getting goal line carries. He's on the Chiefs. They're always in position to score. League winner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he could definitely
agree.
get some touchdowns too. Like you said, they're always in a position to score just because they have Mahomes running around out there throwing backwards 70-yard passes
Yeah.
with his left hand. So yeah, I do like Pacheco too. I did say I needed to see like another week from him, and he has done it. This has been 4 straight weeks with the work and 3 straight weeks producing. So I definitely agree with you on that.
And
I think he's going to help out a lot of playoff teams for sure.
and I know there's another guy that you think is going to help out a lot of playoff teams, Mr. Zonovan Knight. And that's
Yeah.
Zonovan with a Z, not
Z-
Donovan.
Zonovan Knight. I love this fucking guy.
He has the 10th easiest schedule.
He runs angry. I love him.
Well, he's undrafted, right?
I think so. And it's
He's
like
got
that'd
that
be
chip on his shoulder.
that'd be another feel good story too.
Well, hey, in the playoffs, he's playing Detroit, Jacksonville, Seattle. Detroit has been a tough matchup, honestly, for running backs. They shut down Barkley and Travis Etienne.
Yep.
Because I think that defensive line with Aiden Hutchinson is kind of getting it together. So maybe Detroit isn't as sexy as you think, but Jacksonville and Seattle, their run defense isn't scary at all. They haven't been able to really stop anyone.
That's actually been Seattle's weakness.
I mean, Seattle, for fuck's sake, just allowed 2 touchdowns to Cam Akers this past week.
Who we've just done nothing but shit on.
We've done nothing but shit on him.
That, of course, wrong. now.
Wrong.
Yeah. Just don't listen to anything we say.
Yeah, that's usually a good idea. But I do like, as a waiver wire darling, Zonovan Knight. I mean, look at Rashad Penny last year.
Yeah.
People just scooped him up off the waiver wire, and before you know it, he was winning new titles.
Yeah, and Robert Saleh loves him. They've been giving him a lot of touches these past 2 weeks, and with the touches, he's had over 100 scrimmage yards in both games that he's played so far. So I think that if he he's definitely on a short leash. One, because he's a running back. Two, because he's undrafted, and they did just trade for James Robinson, who's barely played, pretty
Yeah.
much, and they traded for him. So, but yeah, Knight's been killing it. He really helped my free agency team for sure because I needed a second running back, and he's been killing it. Now, I don't know if it'll last because Michael Carter, I guess, could come back whenever, but it's a low ankle sprain, so who knows? He could be out another couple weeks with that.
I would see what he does in Week 14, this upcoming week, before you could think about starting him in the playoffs. But I think if you have him on your team, potentially you could have a guy who could help you win your league, I think.
I think he could.
you're
I think he
struggling.
could be solid enough. And I feel like from a second running back spot, if the rest of your team is strong, that's what you need.
Yeah, like
You just need it to be
the
solid.
last piece of the puzzle there.
Yeah, you just need a solid running back too. And speaking of solid running back twos, James Cook too
Yeah.
actually got a lot of work this past week. 6 catches too off 6 targets. Last week, 5 targets.
He's another one I need to see more because this was his first actual good game, and I'm never comfortable starting a guy after just one performance. You
Right.
know, I needed to see either a couple back-to-backs, something over a season length. I can't do it after one game. Like, I wouldn't trust James Cook to get me unless I'm desperate enough. I'm not going to trust James Cook to either get me into the playoffs if I need to win this week. I would rather just wait and see, like, with Zonovan Knight, see what he does before you can consider, like, playing him into the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree, but I am encouraged
He is encouraging.
based off this past week because Devin Singletary, just let's face it, he is what he is. Like he's not getting better. He's not gonna blow up. He is what he is. I think the Bills know that. They clearly didn't draft James Cook by accident. They drafted him pretty high. You know, like I'm a second round's a pretty premium pick at this point. So I think they're gonna try to get him more involved. And the Bills, honestly, like I don't want to say they've been struggling, but like they haven't really like Josh Allen hasn't always
They
looked
haven't
like
been a
himself.
powerhouse.
Like yeah, like so I still think they are a powerhouse, but they haven't always looked like it this year. So I think they're gonna try to get him more involved down the stretch. I think that he's been playing better and better, and they've been slowly trusting him more and more. And I hope we see it, to be honest, because that'd be big for my team too. I picked him up for nothing.
Yeah.
He was left for dead.
And that's
pretty
always the
much.
best when you can get a league winner discount like that.
Yeah, and like this guy was pretty much left for dead on waivers. Like nobody wanted him, was interested in him.
He got a lot of preseason hype, and then when people were like, they're not using him,
Yeah,
he was left for dead.
and like they traded for Naheem Hines, who doesn't even play. Get it? Like so, I don't know. Maybe he's on a short leash because that's just how running backs work. Now teams just you have one bad game and it's fucking Naheem Hines' turn now. So I don't know, but he's encouraging because he's a young player.
He's someone to keep an eye on. But another one who I think is getting a lot of trust, Treylon Burks.
Yeah,
He's getting a lot of trust in that offense.
I like
He
him.
did
for
get
sure.
hurt this past week, so that needs to be monitored. But he plays the Chargers in Houston in rounds 1 and 2. And I've been talking about this. The most important part is you want to be in the championship.
Yes,
You want to have the chance because you don't want to focus too much on those on the championship week, but like the most important part is getting there. And it's what they talk about in all sports. Just get to the championship.
You never know. What
That's
can
always the
happen
hardest
then.
part is getting there because then you don't know what happens. You play somebody on their worst week or your team decides to go God mode and you drop 200.
It
But
could happen.
you just want that chance where it's like basically a 50-50 coin flip and you can be walking in with that trophy with your name on it. But the most important part is you want to be dominating into those weeks and get through everybody else just so you have that chance in that one match, that one-on-one matchup.
I think Traylon. Oh God, excuse me.
Are you tired?
Holy shit. I guess so.
Tired of the show?
Treylon Burks does have a concussion, so it's something that you definitely have to monitor because I think teams are going to be way more careful with that now.
Yes.
So I wouldn't bet on him playing this week, but Chargers in Houston, that is nice and spicy.
That is nice and spicy. And he's a guy I would debate playing on those weeks because he is on my team. So, and when you need that upside, you need that upside because you're the playoffs are the playoffs. You're facing the number 1 seeds, the number 2 seeds.
You're playing the best teams,
the best of the best. It's not like you have a full season long and you're like, okay, I get to play 3 non-playoff teams.
Yeah.
Everybody's in the playoffs. Everybody's got a good team. And it's just going to come down to luck and coin flips at this point when you're in the playoffs.
because
Well,
you
you
really
just-
never know.
You just want that chance. And I think Amon-Ra St. Brown will give a lot of people chances this year. Everyone on the Lions will give people chances.
God,
Let's just lump the Lions into one thing.
I fucking love Amon-Ra St. Brown, man.
I love him too. The Sun God, he is amazing.
No, I just realized he plays Minnesota this week.
Yep. There's
See, but I think that he's matchup proof. I think he's proven that
He is
he's kind of
proven.
matchup proof.
No, that's a good matchup.
it is a great matchup.
Minnesota's
No.
secondary shit.
This week he has a great matchup, but they're 29th.
Yeah.
But even against the Jets, I'm not worried.
I'm not worried.
About
he's,
him.
Worried.
He's going to get enough targets, I think.
No,
to-
but I think they're just gonna find ways to keep getting him.
Yeah,
he's,
that is
I
true.
think
They'll
that
just
he's
pepper
this
his
good at
ass.
this point.
Oh, he's
To-
disgusting.
To where he's gonna just draw and even the Panthers in week 16, they've been respectable against the pass this year, but I don't care. It's fucking Amon-Ra
Yeah.
St. Brown.
he plays Chicago, or he plays Carolina and then Chicago.
Who the Bears he lit up earlier in the year.
Yeah, I am not what Amon-Ra St. Brown. He is matchup proof. I think if he is on your team, he is going to carry you to championships like last year.
I hope he fucking
I just think this is Amon-Ra time. It seems to be a trend early in his career already where he gets hot
down the
towards-
stretch.
Down the stretch. He started off hot, then he cooled down, but
He was hurt.
he was hurt. And I think if he wasn't hurt, I think he could have kept it up the entire year.
Same. I think he could be in the top 5.
He was in the top 5 the first month of the season. and
Next
then,
year he's gonna go high.
Yeah, I think
High.
that he's gonna start getting
Next
his
year
respect.
he's gonna start.
Actually, start
This is
going
the
a little
second year in a
higher.
row he's been.
But if you're a good football player, you're a good football
Yeah.
player. And
Yeah.
I think he's a good football player.
I think he's proven that he is in the elite
Yeah.
territory. He's getting there for sure.
Definitely better than Michael Pittman.
Yeah, and St. Brown, if you drafted him, you more than likely got a steal. In
Yes.
free agency, I got him in 4th round.
Yeah, in my dad's league, I got him the 6th.
Yeah, that's a fucking steal. And
Yeah.
a lot of people were fading him this year because they said, oh, what's it going to be like with Swift and Hawkinson back? And these guys drawing targets away. No, he's the alpha. He is the guy who needs 10 targets a game if they want to move the ball. And they know that. But
I think that's why they moved off of TJ Hawkinson because they knew
Yeah.
they could depend on Amon-Ra St. Brown.
he's proven himself at this point. And
He's had at least 8 targets in the last 6 straight games.
And they have Jamison Williams coming back, which I think, if anything, will help Amon-Ra St.
Yeah,
Brown
I
as well,
agree.
because St. Brown has never been a deep threat. He's a slot receiver. That's what he does. He gets open, he moves the chains. That's his game. Jamison Williams is that deep threat. So, if
Yes.
anything, I think they're just going to play off of each other. And I don't know. I mean, you can't count on DeAndre Swift at this point. So, I think the Lions are going to depend on their pass game a lot more.
Yep.
They've been moving the ball more through the pass game.
And, they'll be totally fine with getting down to the goal line and giving Jamal Williams a 2-yard touchdown every single time. So, DeAndre Swift did have a good week this week, but I still don't think you can count on him just because of all the he can tweak something and
Yes.
be out again. So, I am happy he did have 20 points this week, but I wouldn't be ready to just count on him just yet.
No, but another guy who's really sneaky that could, like Amon-Ra St. Brown came out of nowhere last year, and he was the wide receiver 66 before he went on that tear and he won people championships. Nico Collins has the number 1 easiest schedule for receivers, and I know he hasn't been a world beater this year, but neither was Amon-Ra last year until that stretch. Like, it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
I think he's a guy who's free, or he's probably chilling on your bench, and you could have a diamond in the rough somehow.
Yeah.
He plays Kansas City, Tennessee, and Jacksonville, and that team and Houston's going to have to throw in every one of those games.
they're going to be down more than likely.
And Brandon Cooks is in and out of the lineup. Who else is going to get the ball? He's somebody that could emerge out of nowhere and end up on a championship team because somebody's like, look at this guy. The targets have been there.
They've been there a lot of the season.
A lot of the season. He
To be
just hasn't
honest.
gotten it done.
But since week 10, 7, 9, and now 10 again this previous week. So he is now, I will say Kyle Allen started this week. So I don't know how much you can depend on Kyle Allen if he's going to keep playing, but
Quarterback situation is pretty dire.
they will
there.
have to throw a lot. And this is a case of the classic, you got to fucking throw the ball to somebody.
Yep.
Somebody's got to get the ball.
And Nico Collins has been trending upwards, absolutely, these past couple weeks.
And I just want to do honorable tight end mentions. We don't have to spend a shit ton on tight ends because, I mean, TJ Hawkinson has the easiest schedule. So he's the number 3 tight end right now. And I think if teams have TJ Hawkinson, you're going to see a nice playoff stretch.
That'd be nice from a tight end, wouldn't it?
Yeah, like just a guy that you could depend on every week. Like, are you
'Cause
kidding me?
I've been trying to replace Dallas Goedert, and I've had nothing, basically. So, be nice. I need Dallas Goedert to fucking come back.
Pat Fryermuth is also an honorable mention because he's got Carolina, Las Vegas, and Baltimore. Those are games that the Steelers will need to throw, especially in a divisional game at the end there. Las Vegas and Carolina have been able to have allowed tight ends to move the ball on them. I think he's somebody, he might be still chilling on your waiver wire because he's been kind of up and down, but I think they're going to try and see what Kenny Pickett can do. They're going to open up the passing game, and I think Pat Fryermuth can benefit from that.
Yeah, because the Steelers aren't going to be a playoff team, more than likely.
No, they're not. They're definitely not. But they're going to see what they have.
Right. They're going to try to see what they have in Kenny Pickett because, like, if they have nothing, who's to say they don't go after another quarterback
Exactly.
this year? So, yeah, I like that situation as well. I've liked Pat Fryermuth all year. I liked him coming into the year too, to be honest.
I did too, but
He's been pretty solid, but a little up and down.
it's because
So,
of the passing game.
Yeah, I mean,
that offense has been merely stagnant the entire.
yeah, the Steelers haven't been consistent
No,
at all.
but they're a young team, and with a young quarterback, terrible offensive line, you're not going to really do much in the
Their
NFL.
running game's been virtually non-existent this year.
But I think they're going to start getting things together. We've seen them be able to move the ball more recently or more consistently over the last couple weeks, and I think they're just going to try and build off that, and Pat Fryermuth will benefit. Another guy benefiting from the passing game, Jelani Woods of the Colts. They love those big tight ends in there.
He was a guy that I actually liked for Dynasty.
For
Coming in-
Dynasty?
just because he was one of those guys where like he had like some raw tools, but like he was like a project player sort of. So I was like, all right, maybe you could stash this guy and hold
Yeah.
like he might be something. So in Dynasty, I basically got him for free. He's on my taxi squad. And like not great to be honest, but he's had like a couple weeks where like 15, 10, 16, like
Yeah.
it's not bad. And like he wasn't a high draft pick either. He was like a 4th round pick, 3rd round
The
pick.
NFL?
Yes,
Yeah.
in the real NFL. So he was kind of high, but not like first 2 rounds.
No.
So like they're not going to go out of their way to get him the ball. So I think that there's a chance he could be something.
And that's the thing with tight ends. You just got to hope that there's something there. 'Cause
Yeah.
there's virtually nothing at all
And who
except
knows?
for 2 positions,
Mark Andrews
2
was
players.
a like 2nd or 3rd round pick, right?
He was a 3rd round pick.
3rd round
I think it
pick,
was
and
third.
he is now one of the best tight ends in the NFL.
Yeah, well, you're just tight ends are the hardest thing to project because they either get used or they don't.
Yep.
Yeah.
Most teams don't feature a tight end in the passing game anymore.
Not
Yeah,
anymore.
Unfortunately, not like they used to. But that really wraps it up for the playoff talk.
Yeah.
I do want to talk some prop picks before we get out of here. We have Mahomes versus Denver this week. Over under on 270.
Over.
You're gonna go over. I'm gonna go under. Denver's been pretty tough against,
They've been tough on defense. They just can't move the ball.
but it is Mahomes and the Chiefs.
And I think the game could be a little like grimy.
Little grimy.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
little ugly. Because like the Chiefs' defense has been kind of suspect, but it doesn't matter. It's Denver. They're not
Yeah.
going to move the ball.
They're not moving it at all.
So like, well, I could see the game being like 20-10
I was just gonna say that 20 to 10.
or something, or like 17-9.
Yeah.
Pacheco
like-
and Jarrett McKinnon get the touchdowns.
21-11.
Yep.
Some ugly score somehow. Like I'm gonna go under for it. 270.
270.
I'm gonna go under. Not to say he still can't have a good game, Mahomes.
He probably will. It's Mahomes.
Yeah, you know what he's gonna do.
Stephon Diggs over under 7 catches versus the Jets. I'm gonna go under. I think he gets 6.
I'm actually going to say he gets 7 on the dot.
I'm gonna take the under as well.
So what would I classify that as?
I guess you would have to either do over or under. So you think he's gonna get 6 catches or 8?
You'd have to do like over under 7.5
For
or something.
under 7.5.
I
Under.
would say under because I mean like the Jets did just hold Justin Jefferson to 7 catches this week, and I mean like 7 catches is a lot, but he had 7 catches for like 50 or 60 yards. So like he wasn't getting his big plays like usual.
You know what? I'm actually going to change it. I'm going to say over. I think Josh
Yeah.
Allen is just going to target the
yeah.
shit out of him this week.
I could see it happening. I just got a feeling like he's gonna just miss it.
Yeah.
That's my feeling.
Yeah, maybe like 6 or 7.
So you're under?
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Tim's
with the
over.
under.
I'll stick with the over.
CMC 64 yards versus Tampa.
Rushing, receiving, or total.
Rushing.
I'm actually gonna take the
Under.
over.
What are you gonna do?
I'm going to go under.
Okay.
I think he's going to have more receiving yards than he will rushing yards this week.
I think they're
I'm
gonna
going
run-
over.
I think they're gonna run the ball a lot more now.
I think they are because of Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy.
like he was Mr. Irrelevant.
Now we're gonna talk about revenge game here. Do we think T.J. Hawkinson scores against Detroit?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. Like there's just no way that
It's
doesn't
gotta
happen. Like,
be.
there's just no way.
You
that
know they're gonna target
Watch.
him.
donut
Donut.
because we open our big fat fucking mouths.
It's usually what fucking happens between us.
Like It's just what we do.
I'm thinking Ramondre Stevenson, 53 yards versus Arizona.
Over or under?
Over under on that.
Because I'm out of the playoffs now, and now he'll want to be really good, I'm going to say
I'm
over.
gonna go with the over as well on that.
I'm going to pick over also. Amari Cooper, 71 yards versus Cincinnati.
I'm gonna go under.
They're in Cincinnati.
Oh, under.
I'm
I'm going to go under.
Under.
Cincinnati's pass defense has actually been pretty damn good.
Hopkins, DeAndre Hopkins, to be clear. 6 catches versus New England. Over under. I'm going to go under.
Over.
You're going to go over?
Yeah.
I'm going to go under because of Bill Belichick.
I'm gonna go under as well. I think that it could be a Rondell Moore game.
Marquise Brown's
questionable.
back.
And Marquise Brown, because I think from Bill Belichick's point of view, it'll be I'm gonna make Marquise Brown beat me, not DeAndre Hopkins.
That's fair.
But DeAndre Hopkins is that guy still, so he
Yeah.
might it might not matter. But Marquise Brown is back, and if Rondell Moore plays, that's 3 good wide receivers now out there. So who knows? We haven't seen all 3 of them playing
Yeah.
together 100% yet. So
Start airing it out a little bit more.
maybe,
Open each other up.
yeah.
I could use that out of Marquise Brown. And then the last one, Joe Burrow, over under on 2 touchdowns against the Browns. I'm slamming the over. I think
I'm
this
slamming
is
the over.
slamming that fuckity fuck.
I really actually think that they're going to go back
Back where?
to the Super Bowl. I really do. I think it's going to be some dumbass run that he's just going to put together. Pat Mahomes ain't stopping him. Josh Allen's turning the ball over like it's his job.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're going to run into the Philadelphia Eagles and they're going to get stopped.
Yeah,
I didn't say they were going to win. I said they were going back.
They would be the first team to lose back-to-back Super Bowls since the Bills in the 90s.
Ooh. I don't think the
If
Bengals,
that were to happen.
I just don't think they would lose again if they went back.
If they went back-to-back, yeah, it would be tough to beat. Joe Burrow's got, like, literally that dog in him. Like,
Yeah,
literally.
He already has plenty of like big stage experience.
It's not only that, it's
too,
just
like-
he also has Mahomes' number, which a lot of QBs don't.
Yeah, but I don't
He's the
think
only one, too.
Yeah,
you're
like
not
Allen
going to
doesn't
keep
even have him.
You're not going to keep beating him though.
Yeah, Mahomes, I feel like if they face again in the playoffs, Mahomes is going to get him back.
The
I just-
NFL will make sure.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
the script
true.
writers
That-
at God's.
That is true.
Mahomes.
So last week with our props, I'll tell you how we fucking did. So me and Tim picked the over on Josh Allen versus the Pats for 265. Sorry, you missed that. You only
That's
got
fine.
223. Me and Mark got the under. We all lost the under for Dalvin Cook. So you have 2 losses. Me and Mark have 1 win and 1 loss. Then AJ Brown versus the Titans. That was easy. All of us got the over.
Of course, the guy snapped.
Saquon Barkley versus Commanders, 60 yards against the Commanders. I just said that fucking twice. We all picked the over. That was 1. I felt that was pretty easy.
That was, yeah.
Geno Smith versus the Rams. We all picked the under and lost that 270. He fucking threw for 360.
He told us to suck a fat rod.
And then
Geno
we were
Smith.
like, oh, that'll be a Kenneth Walker game. Out.
Yep.
Out.
Hurt.
Tyreek Hill versus the Niners, over 70 receiving yards. I lost. Mark and Tim won that. And Austin Eckler versus the Raiders. Me and Tim picked the over and won that. Oh, wait, no. I read it wrong. I'm stupid. That's my fault. Oh, no, you and Tim picked the under. I got the over. Okay, so I was the only one that won. Shit. Okay. That sounds about right.
We didn't do too bad.
Not too
it wasn't
bad.
terrible.
Didn't do too.
3-4 wins for each of us.
Mm.
It's not bad.
Can't be a fortune teller every single week.
No, you can't.
Well,
I already have a better record than this than I do the friggin' shit in your hat thing. So,
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
we'll have to revisit that and see how we do.
yeah.
'Cause
Well,
Oh,
it's going to be a
man.
lot of backups coming out there
well,
soon.
when you're putting guys like Kate Otten on it,
Yeah.
like I mean, it's gonna be
I don't know
tough.
what to tell you. Well, that was a good episode today.
Yeah.
Heading into the playoffs. It is week 14 now, leaving week 13. And we are preparing for battle as we speak.
If your playoffs start, this week. Good luck to you.
Yep.
which is kind of odd.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
But it might start this week, so good
Might.
luck to you. Hopefully, we'll see you in February in the Fantasy Super Bowl.
Yep.
Well,
Which means end of December.
in the end of December, actually.
End of December is February in NFL terms.
Yes.
I guess we'll see you later, guys. Yeah. Peace out.
See ya.